All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome to your daily dose of awesome. Your life 50 minutes of daily motivation, inspiration, and education, so you can get your day started right. Today's topic is I'm going to be using some big, they're actually not big words, but they're fancy business words that are insanely important in any business. And I'm going to be talking about KPIs, key performance indicators, and critical drivers. What does that essentially amount up to? It essentially amounts up those things, those fancy business words allow you to do. It allows you to get the things you want in your business in an insanely predictable and efficient way. And so that's what I'm going to be talking about, how to get the things you want in your business. Most of the time, that thing you want most is income. How to get that thing you want in your business in an insanely predictable and efficient way. So that's my topic for today. If you don't know who I am, my name is Ferny. I'm a lead generation online marketing expert specializing in helping home business owners, that's network marketers, affiliate marketers, direct sellers, multiply their incomes using the internet. I built my first six-figure network marketing business within a couple years of discovering the information we teach here at Elite Marketing Pro. And over the past 10 years, I've personally been responsible for over $15 million in gross income using the exact thing I'm going to teach you today in my business, and have helped our clients produce hundreds of millions of dollars more collectively in their businesses as well. What we do and teach works. In fact, what I'm going to share with you today, I've never put in these terms. I've never defined in these terms, even though we've been teaching them to our clients for the past 10 years. And so now I'm going to kind of categorize and define some of these things we've been teaching inside of our community here at Elite Marketing Pro. We specialize in helping network marketers take their business online. But even if you're a network marketer that's building offline, the stuff I want to share with you here is going to be insanely important in your business if you want to have predictability in terms of the ultimate outcome which you want to achieve, which is a certain level of income and your financial freedom. So with that said, I encourage you to share this video, share it on your fan page, share it in your news feed, share it with your friends, your colleagues, people that you know that are part of your team. So you can simply share it by clicking the share button below this video. You can also choose to follow us and get more training. We bring on 6, 7, and 8-figure earners on this show, which Monday through Friday at 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific, to provide you the most powerful content that we can possibly deliver through Facebook Lives in about 15 to 20 minutes. So with that said, I'm going to actually hop into the content, but before I do that, I'm going to actually check to see if we are actually live here, so I can monitor comments and stuff. There I am. What's up? Let's see if I'm able to see comments as they're rolling in. I think I am, so that's cool. I'm gonna also pull it up on my phone. I pull it up on my desktop, but on my laptop, but I actually don't know if that works. I've never done that before. There you go. You guys heard me. What's up, Julie? Hello, Linda, John, Terry. How's it going? Larry. Cool. It's echoing. I'm not sure. Do you guys hear me okay? Do you guys hear? Your mic works really good. Okay, cool. All right. So it's the echoing's probably maybe on your side. So fantastic, guys. So you guys hear me? So let's hop right into the content. So we only got a few minutes here. So what I'm going to talk, the fancy business words I want to talk about. So key performance indicators are called KPIs, and critical drivers, and I'm going to define the distinction between the two. And it's your job in your business to actually figure out what are going to be my key performance indicators. Like what's the metric that shows me whether I achieve the outcome I want to achieve, and what are the other metrics that are going to indicate to me on a daily basis as to whether I'm on the right track towards achieving that. That's essentially the difference between critical drivers and KPIs. KPI is the metric that you want to achieve. For example, a KPI could be a certain level of income every single month. That's your KPI. That's how you know whether you have achieved a goal. So your KPI is the metric that ultimately is the number that's going to reflect your income. And so if you want your income to be $10,000 a month, then your KPI is going to be commissions earned through your opportunity or whatever you're doing, and your goal is to make sure that KPI, that key performance indicator, eventually hits 10,000 a month, if that makes sense. Now, your critical driver are the other metrics that help you make adjustments on a daily basis that are going to help you in a predictable way achieve those goals. This is something that Keith Cunningham, one of my mentors, who's also a Rich Dad, so he's Robert Kiyosaki's original mentor, and all the content from the Rich Dad books are essentially his, and he's the one that taught the cash flow quadrant and some other concepts. But essentially, Keith Cunningham stresses the importance of KPIs and critical drivers. In fact, in his book, The Ultimate Blueprint for an Insanely Successful Business, that's his book right here, The Ultimate Blueprint for an Insanely Successful Business. It's not a very thick book. It's only about 100 pages, but I highly recommend you guys check it out. Again, I'll put that there so you can screenshot it, and you guys can hit rewind later on this video so you can screenshot that as well. But the Blueprint for an Insanely Successful Business, in Chapter 13, he talks about critical drivers and key performance indicators. Most of the time, people focus on the the key performance indicator as to whether they're making progress in what they're doing or not. But it's actually the wrong thing to look at. The thing you want to look at are the critical drivers. The critical drivers tell you whether you're on the right track. Think of it this way: if your goal is to lose weight and lose 20 pounds over the next 2 months, your KPI is a scale, so it's the measurement on the scale, and your critical driver is the diet and the consistency in that diet. So you not only have to have the plan, the plan is important, but the critical driver is actually how to measure whether you're on track with the plan. And what's the bottom line is that you can't help but achieve your goals and lose weight if you're following the plan and you're being consistent and you're able to measure whether you have the consistency on a daily basis. So if you follow the plan and you're consistent in implementing that plan and you're tracking your progress so that you don't veer off or cheat or any of that stuff, that the KPI pretty much takes care of itself. Does that make sense? Give me a number 5 if that's making sense for you guys. If KPI, and the analogy, KPI is a scale and critical drivers is the diet and the consistency with that diet plan. If that makes sense, give me a number 5 right now. I just want to make sure you guys are following me. Now for me as Chief Marketing Officer of Elite Marketing Pro, as Marketing Officer, my KPI, my chief KPI, what I'm measured as, I'm measured by, not as, but by, is revenue. So how much revenue does this business bring in as a marketing officer? That's what I'm measured as. Not profitability, not expenses. My main responsibility as part of this company is revenue. The more revenue, the better I'm achieving my job. So I have to set obviously goals in achieving that revenue, but how do I know whether we're on track to get there? There'll be, the thing you'll discover about your business in network marketing or in online marketing, you're going to see your income oscillate. So some months maybe you 1 month you hit your KPI, your desired KPI, which is 10,000 a month, but then the next month you go to 8,000, and then maybe the next month you're at 11,000, and it kind of oscillates. How do you know whether you're on track to maintain that goal, or how do you know you're on track or can in a predictable way achieve a new goal, 20,000 a month? Well, it's going to be all the stuff that happens before. Critical drivers, being able to measure the things. So for me, critical drivers for me are number of new customers, the percentage of those customers that are engaging in with our coaching in our community. So we actually measure how many of our total customers actually engage with our process in our community. Because that's an important critical driver. If they don't do that, then they can't see everything else that we offer here at Elite Marketing Pro. And so out of those engaged customers, what percentage of those actually convert to our membership? So how many of them want to be a part of our community? And so I got to know these numbers. I'm going to be able to track these numbers. And eventually what I've come to understand is that I basically have come to understand what conversion rates are going to be optimal. So out of all the leads that we generate, how many of those leads will turn into customers? Out of all those customers we generate, how many of those customers will engage in a significant way in our community and with our coaching? Out of all those engaged customers, I've kind of figured out where we need, what numbers we need to hit in order to be successful, and you're going to be basing that on your own testing. So I've come to understand that basically eventually I'm going to know, okay, this seems like this is where we want to be if we want to achieve our key performance indicators. So now I know what numbers to look at, and in case those critical drivers, if those numbers dip, then I know I need to do something immediately. I don't have to wait for my income or for the revenue to be lower or higher in order for me to take action. If my income dips, it's already too late. I can't do anything about that month. But if I'm looking at my critical drivers, if I'm looking at the metrics that are helping me achieve that income, then in real time, on a daily basis, I can make adjustments to what we're doing. So if I see something dip, if I see our engagement with our customers go down, I know who to call to figure out why that went down so it can come back up. Does that make sense? So I know who's responsible for delivering on those critical drivers. And by the way, what's a critical driver to me could be a KPI for somebody else on my team. Now let me put this in network marketing terms, because you guys are probably going like whoa, falling to sleep. Let me put this in network marketing terms, and network marketing is very similar to myself as chief marketing officer, which I used as an example. In network marketing, your critical driver, your KPI, your key performance indicator, is your income, the commissions you make from your opportunities. So that's the ultimate outcome that you're monitoring, which you're going to be maybe your spouse is going to measure your success by. If you're making this much money, I'm happy. If you're not making this much money, you're in for a rude awakening. And so if you guys, who here has an income goal of at least $10,000 per month to start? Give me a number 6 if you have the income goal of $10,000 a month to start with. So, because I'm going to use that as kind of like the basic premise. So, if my income goal is $10,000, then my KPI in network marketing, my key performance indicator is going to be income. Now, what are my critical drivers? It's important that in network marketing you understand how this business actually works and how it actually grows. So, can you guys right now tell me? Just spit it out. Give me a few of the metrics, of the numbers in network marketing that you think are part of that list of critical drivers that's going to help me get to $10,000 a month. Can you guys spit it out right now? Like, let me know. I'll give you the easiest one, because I know that's the one you guys are going to blurt out, which is recruiting. How many people are you able to enroll in your business per day? We'll get that out of the way, because that's not actually the most important critical driver in the business. It's one of them, but not the most important. So let's get that one out of the way. What other critical drivers in network marketing are going to be important for you to monitor in order to, in a predictable way, help you achieve your income goal? And this is a hard one. This can be a difficult one. So exposures. Yeah, so maybe exposures, can you define exposures? Is that the amount of people you showed the plan to, or the amount of people you connected to? Which is exposure? How many presentations you do per month? Instead of presentations, how about how many people you showed the presentation to per month? I think that's a much better critical driver there. Product sales. So product sales is one, but how about, you can do product sales, but you also don't want to get too granular. And you're going to have to figure this out on your own. Maybe product sales is the right critical driver for your business, but maybe it's number of new customers. So maybe number of new customers, and maybe another thing to look at is what's the average order volume for those customers. So getting a new customer started is one critical driver, but also what you want to look at is the average order with those customers. So you may want to look at that. Engagement. How do you got to? So engagement is kind of hard to measure. I know I use that as a critical driver. But really, when I mean engagement, I mean they're on the phone with our team, making progress through our free curriculum that we offer them. So for me, that's engagement. So can you define what engagement actually means? People talk to successful leaders who are maintaining rank. So that can be a critical driver once you've achieved a certain level of success. So if a number of leaders that are maintaining their rank, that's going to directly be proportional to income. But what about when you're just getting started? If you don't have any leaders, what are the critical drivers that are going to get you to $10,000 a month? Retention. So process reorders. So retention can be one of them. Yeah, definitely. Prospects to talk to. So is this number of prospects to talk to, or prospects you've already spoken to about the business? So that's a difference. People you've connected with versus people that you've actually showed the business to, or people you actually showed the product to. Those, you got to be very specific. Your level of expertise. So that's not a critical driver. Your level of, you can't measure your level of expertise, per se, but you can actually measure certain things in the business. New teammates, so new enrollment. So I talked about that. But that was one of the first critical drivers. And number of people using the product. That could be actually a really good one, Robin. It could be a pretty good one. But again, what does that mean in terms of volume that ultimately is going to, how is that connected to income? Not just, so rather than maybe number of people, again, number of customers in that a certain person has on your team, and what's the average order that they do per month? What's the average order for each of those customers that's done? So let me break it down for you, because the reason I was asking is because I knew there'd be some struggle here for network marketers, because the fact of the matter is most network marketers think that their most important critical driver is going to be recruiting, but it actually isn't. The most important critical driver, I'm going to tell you what the most important critical drivers are, and it's going to be in the context of how you actually successfully can grow a network marketing business. So one critical driver, so here are the critical drivers I'm going to list out right now, and you probably want to take notes if you're wanting to achieve this in your business. So new people you've connected with, so potential prospects in the pool. Not people you showed the business to, but new people you've connected with on a daily basis. Some of you who are building online, that can be your friends list if you're using a personal profile. For some of you who are doing advertising out of your fan page, that can be the number of followers, or it could be the number of people that opt into your email list. So however you define the people you connected with, you have to be very specific. People you showed the product or business to, so they've actually seen the offer. So the people that have seen the offer, that's a number that you want to track. How many people have actually either been recruited, have actually enrolled in your business, or have become customers in your business? So again, you're going to need to distinguish between new business builders and customers. In fact, customers is probably going to be more valuable to the bottom line than a new recruit, because a new recruit doesn't actually add to your bottom line until they start getting customers themselves and start helping other people get customers as well. So you see how breaking this down is so important to actually figuring out how you're going to get to your actual stated goal. And so now let's get a little bit more, a little bit more into what actually moves the needle for you. So number of new people trained. So it's not just enough to enroll new people. How many have you actually trained, have taken through a process where you've trained them? That means you need to have a process to take them through to get them trained. So how many have you trained to do what I've just described, to form new connections, to show the product of the business to new people, to recruit and enroll new members and customers, or team members and customers? Also, how many customers have you gotten to get referrals? And so maybe not how many customers you've gotten to get referrals, but how many referrals have you gotten from customers? Now, so far, I've only mainly been talking about what you are doing personally, but network marketing is a team game. So now the same things you are tracking for yourself, how many people I have connected with, how many people of those people have I either showed the product or the opportunity to. So these are going to be two separate metrics. Product opportunity presentations are two separate things you have to track separately. How many people have you recruited, enrolled into your business? How many people have actually become new customers into your business? What's the average order for those new customers? Maybe in the future you want to also track the average reorder for those customers. And if those customers drop down, then you need to obviously replenish. So you need to be able to track that stuff as well. People you trained to do everything I just described. So you got to be able to teach them how to track their numbers. And how many of those customers produce referrals? So essentially new customers. And so you got to be able to help your team members. Not only are you tracking your performance, you're helping your team members track their performance, and you're letting them know this is the standard. You got to do this many connections per day or per week. This many new people that you showed the business to or showed the product to. This many, and so on and so forth. You set a standard for what it is people should be doing, and then you put it on paper, and then that's what they're expected to do. They're expected to basically make sure that they're meeting certain minimums in their business. Now, if they're not meeting certain minimums in their business, you're gonna focus on helping them. But if they're not doing the work to get there, then you focus on the people that actually are willing to meet the objectives you set out. So, is this making sense? Give me a number 7 if this is making sense, because I know this can be a little convoluted, especially in network marketing, because in network marketing is not just as easy as a chief marketing officer, because you also need to track what other people are doing in your organization. They got to report to you, and then you eventually got to train leaders. So you got to train leaders on how to be able to do this. So not only train people on how to be accountable for themselves, but train people on how to be accountable for other people, and that's how you ultimately get to leadership levels. Let me look at some comments here. How to make people stay, especially to new members, regular customers, recruiting at least 5 people per month, developing leaders. That's great, but recruiting 5 people per month does not add to my income. Those people have to do something. So for me, I'm going to put more emphasis, if I'm trying to achieve certain income, I'm going to put more emphasis on training people when they enroll, getting them properly trained, and helping those people get their first 3 customers in the first week. That's my ultimate goal. That's how I'm going to track my success more than anything else, is having new people generate 3 new customers, because if they generate customers, that adds to my volume and that adds to my bottom line. That's direct correlation. And if it comes to helping my person generate find a new prospects, a new business builder, or helping them get 10 new customers in their business, I'm going to help them get 10 new customers first before I help somebody else recruit somebody else into their business. Why? It's because the customers actually add to volume. If I can help that person get 10 new customers and those customers stick, that adds significance to my volume. That puts that person in profitability, and then I've actually moved the needle towards achieving my desired outcome from an income standpoint, without actually ever having to look at my bank account. I hope that's making sense, guys. You got to measure what's going to move the needle, and usually a lot of you guys are measuring the needle. So you guys are looking at the needle and defining your success based on that. You need to get more granular and look at what's happening in your business and break it down in terms of the things that need to happen in order for the needle to move up. And so, and a lot of you are stuck thinking that recruiting is the most important critical driver, and the number of people to talk to, the number of presentations, So think beyond that. What actually adds to volume? And the only thing that adds to volume in network marketing are customers. So part of your dashboard that you're looking at is the number of customers you have, and the average number of customers, or maybe not the average number of customers. Maybe it's the average order volume per week for each team member, and that's what you're measuring. As long as you have X amount of team members with a certain order volume, and then along with some other critical drivers, then you're going to be on your way to achieving the success you want to achieve. To learn more about creating these type of dashboards, I definitely recommend checking out the Ultimate Business Blueprint. And by the way, those of you, the Ultimate Business Blueprint for an Insanely Successful Business by Keith Cunningham. And those of you who are part of our community who are doing advertising, this is the same. Your KPI is going to be income or commissions. So, but how do you get there? Your critical drivers are going to be a little different if you're doing advertising. You're looking at your cost per acquisition. You're looking at your number of sales per day, number of leads per day, your cost per lead, your opt-in rate, and so on and so forth. So these are your critical drivers that you measure on a daily basis to help you ultimately achieve your goal. And you have to be able to work backwards from your goal in order to break down what the minimum number of new customers, minimum number of new team members with a certain amount of customers have to be in order for you to achieve the outcome that you want to achieve. So that's it for today, guys. I got a little deep. I got a little, hopefully not too convoluted, but this is important. This is why people in network marketing or any business for that matter fail, because they don't know what to measure, or they're measuring the wrong thing. A lot of you were talking about new people, new recruits into your business, new enrollments, number of people you show the plan to. Those aren't critical drivers. The critical drivers actually are going to be the things that add to your bottom line, so it's actually going to be a little more involved in that. That's it for today, guys. Hope this was helpful. If you want to learn more about what we do here at Elite Marketing Pro, go to elitemarketingpro.com and opt into our online recruiting bootcamp, or download our social media recruiting guide so you can get started on the strategy for achieving your results. And once you're part of a community, we'll talk more about some of these fancy business words like critical drivers and KPIs. Take care, everybody. Have an awesome day.